To make this cake, we're going to start with 2 sticks of softened butter and adding to that 1 8-ounce block of cream cheese, also softened. And what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and cream both of those together and get those 2 incorporated before we add the sugar. And like most pound cakes, we're going to add 3 cups of granulated sugar. And then I want you to cream those ingredients together and cream them together until they're light and fluffy like this. And it doesn't take too long depending on your mixer. I was using a hand mixer doing this because I'm on vacation and I don't have my regular equipment. Next, we're going to add 6 room temperature eggs. You want to gradually add those 1 at a time or even 2 at a time sometime, however they fall into the bowl, but just make sure that you mix them well after each addition before the next addition so that your pound cake batter doesn't curdle. And even if it does curdle, you can fix that, but I try to avoid it in the first place. So even if 2 fall in the bowl, it'll be okay. It's fine. Just make sure you get them mixed in really well before you add the next. And like I said, I'm on vacation, so I'm trying to do something nice for my family that I don't get to see often. So I don't have my regular ingredients. I don't have my regular mixer. You know, I'm just kind of working with what they have around the house and what I can get my hands on. So we're going to use a 1/2 cup of milk, and to that we're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla extract. In that bowl, I put 3 1/2 cups of flour, and yes, I did put it all in the bowl at the same time, along with a 1/2 teaspoon of salt and a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. And yes, all of that is going to go in the bowl at the same time. Like I said, I'm on vacation and I'm trying to do something nice, and I don't have all my regular equipment. So once I get the dry ingredients kind of semi-mixed in, I'm going to start to slowly drizzle in my milk mixture into that, just a little at a time, and I'm going to mix it all together at the same time. And then it should look like that. So I took about 3 cups of this finished batter out of the bowl and put it into a separate container, and I'm going to add to that about 4 heaping teaspoons of raspberry preserves. If I had been thinking clearly, I would have did the seedless raspberry preserves, but I wasn't thinking. Like I said, I was just trying to make a pound cake with what we had on hand around here while I'm on vacation. Here's the bundt pan, and it has been prepared with just butter and flour. So I poured about half of the raspberry batter in the bundt pan. And on top of that, I'm going to put all of the remaining vanilla pound cake batter on top of that and spread it out. And then after that, I'm going to put the remaining raspberry pound cake batter on top of that. And like I said, I'm on vacation and I wanted to do something nice for the family. But if I was home, I can say I would have probably added maybe a couple of drops of pink food coloring to this to kind of brighten it up, but I'm kind of working with what I have on hand. So in the oven, it baked for like about an hour and 15 minutes. It ended up baking for me at 325. And you want to let it cool for about 15 minutes in the pan before you flip it out. And once you flip it out, it should if you prepared your pan well, it should come out pretty easy. One thing I can say is when you do flour and butter, you it will stick for a minute, so ease it out the pan. When you do the baking spray, it kind of slips right on out. And this is the final result. To make the icing, I'm doing about 2 cups of powdered sugar, and I'm going to end up using the juice of a whole lemon with this, but I'm going to put half of the lemon in at a time. Juice half at a time. I also need about 2 tablespoons of softened butter, and we're going to give that a mix with the hand mixer. And after I get that mixed pretty good, I'm going to then add the juice of the rest of the lemon. the other half of the lemon until I get a nice consistency. And that's it. And that's pretty much it. All you need for the glaze. The little raspberry jam with this lemon glaze is a pretty nice combination. It turned out okay. I mean, it could have been better, but you can do this with any kind of jam. You could do this with blueberry jam. You could do it with strawberry jam, you know, peach. It's really versatile. You know, I just was using what we had on hand, and that's the finished product.